Hello, I'm Dr. David Hamilton, and this is a reading from my book, The Joy of Actually Giving, an F, and this is from Chapter 4, The Opposite of Stress. Let's start with a quiz. What comes to mind when I say opposite of stress? I bet you're thinking peace, calm, maybe chill vibes. That's what most people jump to. But here's an interesting twist. That's not the opposite of stress. That's the absence of stress. The true opposite of stress is kindness. I know. Stress is a feeling, but kindness is an action. So how does that work? Stick with me here. Remember when I talked about those feel-good kindness hormones versus the stressy ones? It's all about how stuff actually feels. Let me put it another way. The opposite of the experience of stress and what that feels like is the experience of kindness and what that feels like. There was a study where psychologists sent people a daily text asking for 2 scores, their stress level on a scale 1 to 10, and the approximate number of kind things they did. After a few weeks of data crunching, they found that on days when the participants' kindness number score was high, their stress number score was low. And on days when the stress score was high, the kindness score was low. And it was a total seesaw action of opposites. When one went up, the other came down. Let me say though that just because you're being extra kind one day doesn't mean that stressful stuff won't happen. Shit happens, as we all know. One of life's specialties, in fact, is curveballs, and they can fly towards you regardless of how kind you're being. But the silver lining in the cloud of the study data was that if shit does happen, the feelings induced through the experience of kindness can take some of the stink out of it. In short, kindness is like life's secret sauce, which sweetens stressful situations. It won't make problems vanish, but it's like a cushion for your mind when everything feels like a wild river ride. It helps build resilience in the face of stress. It reduces the mental and emotional impact of some stressful events, enough that it might serve up some extra protection for our mental health on those days when life feels like we're swimming upstream against a strong current. And especially on those days when just one more problem might just tip us over the edge. On a chemical level, this is partly due to our warm and fuzzy kindness hormone, Oxytocin. Just as the experience of stress produces stress hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol, so the experience of kindness produces kindness hormones. As well as being a kindness hormone, oxytocin goes by a number of other affectionate names that you may recognise. The love drug, the hug drug, the cuddle chemical, the bonding hormone. But the fascinating part is that oxytocin dials down regions of the brain associated with stress, such as the amygdala. Think of it as a dimmer switch. The experience of stress turns up the amygdala, but the experience of kindness via the action of oxytocin turns it down. Opposites. In one piece of research in this area, scientists induced a state of stress in volunteers while they were inside an MRI scanner, and activity in the amygdala shot up. But if they gave them a squirt of kindness hormones up the nose first, then before the stress, then the amygdala activity didn't reach anywhere close to those highs. The kindness hormone protected the volunteers against stress at a neurological level. In case you were wondering about the squirt up the nose thing, it helps the oxytocin to travel across the blood-brain barrier. That's a barrier between the brain and body, which helps to block stuff like bacteria and viruses from getting into the brain. But the bouncers at the door will let our kindness hormone in. When we feel stressed about something, the usual thing we do is try to relax. Take some slow breaths, and yes, absolutely do that. But you can go a wee bit further now. If you're feeling stressed, try kindness. See if you can reach for a few kind thoughts. Who's shown up for you recently or in the past? Who have you helped, and in what way? Think of the kindest person you know. What is particularly kind about this person? Or go out and be kind. Do you know anyone who could do with a kind listening ear or a helping hand? You could also try the Kindfulness meditation practices in Appendix 2 of this book, where the focus is on compassion and kindness. Kindfulness activities like these can change the brain organically in a similar way to the effects of mindfulness. Just the regions impacted are different. Kindfulness meditation pumps up regions of the brain such as the medial prefrontal cortex, which helps with the experience of positive emotion and happiness. As these regions become more powerful, extracting happiness and joy from the everyday moments of life becomes a bit easier. This doesn't mean that you will instantly and always be happy, just that happiness becomes a wee bit more accessible because this part of the brain has had some more training. It's like how running 5k in under 40 minutes becomes a little more accessible if you build muscle endurance through training. Staying with the organic changes in the brain thing, kindfulness practices also pump up empathy regions of the brain, for example the insula, making it easier to feel empathy for others who are suffering or struggling. Kindness is your secret sauce in life's apple pie and the ultimate antidote to stress. But of course, your heart needs to be in the right place, so to speak. That's a phrase I learned as a child about doing things for the right reasons. This is where nature's catch-22 comes in. Nature's catch-22. This is what I call the glitch in the system. You'll recall how I said earlier that kindness hormones were produced only if kindness was genuine. Think about it. You need to create kindness hormones to get a positive side effect from kindness. And these are produced by how the experience feels. So you have to feel it. And you only feel it when you mean it. That's nature's catch-22. You only get the benefits of kindness if you mean it, if you're genuine. It's as if nature has built this into life's equation. If you mean it, you'll feel it, and then you'll get the anti-stress boost, plus loads of other healthy benefits. So be aware that kindness can bring benefits to your mental health, but there's an important caveat. It has to be genuine kindness. I'm Dr. David Hamilton, and that was a reading from my book, The Joy of Actually Giving, an F, and that was from chapter 4, The Opposite of Stress.